if there's one person you need to trust, one person you can rely on is Ajahn Brahm. First of all, I would like to thank you all for subscribing to my channel. It will help my channel grow, give me more motivation to create videos, to share good stuff with everyone. Let me introduce you to Ajahn Brahm and Saitama. I purposely made them look mysterious in the thumbnail. It's like a jigsaw puzzle you're trying to solve, and when you put all the pieces together, there's a last few pieces to make the picture complete, the puzzle complete, but they are missing. So I'm here to give you those missing pieces, to understand more about life, to be truthful, to be honest. This is like the pinnacle of human potential in Ajahn Brahm. It's an evident answer to all the misfortunes, the exploitations, the foolishness, the corruption, the apathy of people. I've prepared a around 5 minute video for you all. It's a condensed version of a 2 hours talk.
And first of all, the way this world works, you have some idea of this thing we call samsara and rebirth, reincarnation, doesn't matter what you wish to call it. The idea that you only have one go at life never made sense to me. Now, when a person really understands what I'm talking about there, you realize that after a while, how much can you learn? And after a while, is this it? Is there no escape, from samsara? In monastic Buddhist life, we look at it a totally different way. How much we can give and how much I can disappear. That even when you are meditating, you're meditating not to attain things. You're meditating to let go of things, to disappear, for things to vanish, for things to go. How much greed, hatred and delusion have disappeared. How much worry about the past, how many stupid desires about the future you've lost. The worries about your reputation, the worries about your ego, how much that's disappeared. So your sense of self is going, and with that, the times you're going to get reborn. You've had enough. You don't need to be reborn anymore. But now these days, if someone calls me a loser, I say, yes, you understand. That's what monks are. Isn't that the case? Ajahn Mudito, we're losers. We lost so much, so many burdens, so much suffering. Who was the biggest loser? The Lord Buddha. He lost all of his attachments, all of his desire, all of his suffering. He was the biggest loser. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Why has no one told me about that before? That's why I like telling you. If you're into pleasure, the pleasures of renunciation and meditation are way better than almost anything you can achieve in the world. Imagine you're the Buddha, just enlightened. They had their eyes closed. There's nothing to worry about ever again. You don't need anything ever again. You don't have to worry about storing anything because you don't need anything. You don't have to worry about your health or any dangers. You're perfectly free. You know about the meaning of life. This is your last birth. You don't have to worry about anything. You are at peace. Imagine what that's like to be at peace.
I found this picture to help us better understand the idea, the concept of rebirth. We have to draw lines from point to point, the stages of life. So we have a picture of a baby, and we draw a line to the child. And from the child, we draw a line to the teenager. And we grow from a teenager to an adult, and another line from the adult to the elderly. And when we think different from normal people, or what we were taught in school or taught by our peers and elders, what if we drew a line connecting the elderly back to the baby? It would make better sense of the concept of rebirth, of the cycle of life. Saitama is an attempt to make a close representation of Ajahn Brahm. Knowing how strong Saitama is, when one of these strong characters faced Saitama by accident, he did not pose any threat whatsoever to Saitama.
Oh, 埼玉先生、質問したいことが何だと思いますか？
え、パワーじゃね？
ありがとうございます。俺に道を示してくれる強さの象徴。
In order to get to where we want to be, we have to go along a journey where, if some of you remembered the game Metal Gear Solid from the 1990s, back then I never really understood the message within the game. And now, at this point where I've accumulated some understanding about life, there's a scene where he enters a facility somewhere in like 20% of the game. He come across a room full of bloodied dead bodies, and this cyborg ninja is shown. It was made known to the players that the name of this ninja is Grey Fox. So Grey Fox is an old friend of Solid Snake, and at near the end of the game, Grey Fox actually showed up and helped us, the main character, to go against this big machine. One of the final bosses. During this fight scene, Grey Fox sacrificed himself to give a leverage to us. Even though he's highly skilled, he never found the pinnacle of human potential. He never found peace, and he was looking for his death. Eventually, he died in this game. We see a conversation between the main character and his superior. They were talking about how simple he was. He was just living to meet his end, and that's where he found peace at his end. One of the things I wanted to point out is that you don't have to find peace only at your end. You can actually find peace now, where most people, that is what we were taught. In life, there's black and white, things that we define as right and wrong. So that leads me to the 12 Angry Men. So the main idea, the main plot of this movie is that there are 12 people who have to all agree to an answer to come out with an outcome, whether this convicted young man is guilty of murder. So they have listened to all the witnesses in court, and at the beginning of the movie, majority of them, 11 out of 12 of them, decided that the young man was guilty as charged. Only one person stood up where he was reasonable enough to doubt. There was reasonable doubt because he did not know for sure that this young man was actually guilty of murder. So he wanted to talk about it, at least give it a conversation to decide this young man's life. Slowly, the minority was able to convince all the others. Sometimes to prove a point, it's not that easy to convince people. There's a lot of conversations to be had. That you need a lot of facts. You really have to think about it. You have to debate. And if you if something cannot be solved based on black and white, you have to look to the gray area. And working in the gray area, sometimes we just have to make decisions. We have to go with our gut, with our experience, what we have learned. We have to go with our instincts. We have to go with our intellect, our ability to make the best decision possible. We have to be courageous enough to take the next step, to the unknown, to the future, how the world is going to evolve. Having that understanding, this will change the way we view things, the way we view the world, how we go about our businesses, how we carry ourselves, our sense of responsibility and accountability of our actions, and how we're going to impact the world. Shout out to Ajahn Brahm. Ciao, guys. Peace.